Hi, my name is Denise, and with my partner Kevin, I'm going to be presenting our ENCMP 100 coding competition project. So what we've created is essentially an escape room. This is based off a project that Kevin did a couple years ago. Pretty much, we changed pretty much everything. It's almost all entirely original, except for the way that this GUI is built, and that is using the Tkinter module, which is built into Python. The credits for this, the way that this GUI is built, goes to one of Kevin's old teachers, and that's included in the code, right? So this game works essentially, like I said, like an escape room, as in there are different locations and different objects in every location that you can interact with, get the description of, and that'll clue you into what you're supposed to do with those objects in order to escape. Right. So when we were first creating this game, we knew that we would have a lot of different locations and a lot of different objects with different attributes that we need to create. So in order to do that efficiently, we created two different classes, game object class and location class. And that way we could create instances of both these classes with their own specific attributes, and we'd be able to access those easily and access those attributes easily as well. The way that we deal with user input, the user can move using these buttons, but to interact with objects, you need to put in text. So for example, I just picked up the coins object. Pretty much all user input is dealt with through perform a command here. So perform a command takes a verb and a noun, assuming that the user inputs two words. And based off that verb, it will return a function that performs the action that's implied by that verb. So I just picked up those coins, for example. So let's look at pickup command. And in pickup command, what we're doing is checking if that object in that room that I wanted to pick up, it's checking if it has the attribute to be picked up. And yeah, we essentially have this for pretty much every action you can take in the game. I'm going to pass it over to Kevin. He's going to talk about why this is so optimized from the previous version.
Initially in this course, we learned a simple programming style, where everything was executed step by step and which was quite straightforward. Unfortunately, this led to duplicate code, where we were trying to execute the same set of instructions, but non-consecutively, like outside of a while loop. We couldn't deal with it with a while loop. To solve this problem, we moved to a more abstract functional programming style, where we have functions and they store all of our functionality in one place. This made modification much easier and less error-prone, but we still had trouble dealing with associated code that was disconnected, different kinds of data stored that should really be associated but could not be stored in the same place. A solution to this is object-oriented programming, where data and functionality are put in one place. This increases abstraction and enhances clarity because all things relating to one idea are put in one place. An example is our if-elif trees in the original version of our program, which we have modified. This could be simplified quite a lot with objects, where instead of having this if-elif tree, we can just call a value from an object. Notice that these different cases can be all managed with one line, even, and across different functions would still have the same variable being used, the same object being used. Another example of this is our getDescription function in the game object class, where game object is the only one in the entire interaction with that function who needs to care about whether the player has interacted with it or not. It doesn't really matter to anyone outside that function whether the player's interacted with that object or not yet. But they will still get the same output, that description output, no matter what. This kind of hopefully explains a little bit how object-oriented is a very nice way, neat way to encapsulate information and functionality all in one place.
So due to time restriction, I wish I could go more into detail about what every function does, but ultimately this program and this game is a testament to the power of object-oriented programming, and specifically the use of classes and objects in Python.